Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I probably wouldn't use daunting as a word. I think. Do you know? Out of the three, if you had to pick somebody, would you pick to play St Helens in a semi? Probably not. But I think, like you say, it's a Challenge Cup, and for us, there's no pressure on us whatsoever. Whether we'd have played Leeds, Saints, or York, we're the underdogs. We're coming from Super League 2. You know, we had a bit of a track record last year of being a bit inconsistent and, you know, struggled with our fitness. But I think for us, whichever team we got, it was just literally to turn up, improve on a 59% completion, improve on the bits we've been working on, and just give them a dig. I think every team is beatable, and, you know, watching the couple of games we've played already, they're certainly beatable. It's early on in the season.
Before we get to this weekend's big semi-final against St Helens, let's talk about how Fev got to this point. A brilliant campaign so far in the Challenge Cup. How's it gone thus far?
You know, we've had quite a long pre-season. We were aiming to have a couple of friendlies and play Wigan in a friendly before the season started, and that didn't really come to fruition. I think because of most clubs and matches at the time, the weather was just awful, so we couldn't get a playable pitch. But we played Alton, Wakefield, and Castleford in the Challenge Cup group, which, you know, I think Alton was our biggest challenge in that. I think they shocked a few people and showed what a good team they'll probably be at some point. So we kind of, Wigan was our first real challenge, I'd say, and that's not being disrespectful to those other three teams. But yeah, you know, we were confident going into that. We've strengthened our squad quite a lot. We've had, like I say, we've had a long pre-season, and you know, we've got a good team of staff now, backroom staff, and, you know, club support. So yeah, we were confident going into that game, and it was a little bit closer than we would have liked. But I think our set completion was at 59%. So to still get a win and defend for nearly half the game is a credit to the team, really.
And I mean, that result against Wigan in the quarterfinals was superb, wasn't it? Really, like you touched upon there. We did speak to Marie a month or so ago as well, and, you know, to pull out a result like that, what does that tell us about where Featherstone are heading this season? Yeah,
we're confident, and I think, again, we talk about being in a rebuilding stage for Featherstone. We have been for the last few years. You know, some of these younger players now are coming through and being a real big part of our squad. But we've recruited well in the off season. You know, we're lucky enough to get Marie in as head coach, and, you know, a few Castleford players came on the back of that to our trial and wanted to come and give it a go at Featherstone. But so we've recruited really well. We've strengthened our squad where we needed to. And, you know, if you look at the squad we had last year, including myself, there's nearly 10 players who aren't within that squad anymore, either gone to other clubs or retired, or, you know, injuries and things like that. So we needed to recruit, and I think we've recruited well. We're still always looking to recruit and add to our squad. But yeah, so I think we just needed that time to gel, come together, and, you know, the Wigan test for us was a big one, and one we kind of eyed up as a test to see where we're really at. And I thought the team were really good that day. I think, like I said, with the completion, they didn't really do themselves any favours in terms of having to defend for the majority, but they really dug in, and I think that's the performance we were looking from them. So hopefully that'll instill a little bit of confidence and with the group moving forward.
And for you personally as well, I mean, we caught up just before your final game as a player. So how are you adapting to life as a coach at Fev? And we should also add as well your role at Sheffield Eagles. And I was speaking to you off air. Every day there seems to be something happening at the Sheffield Eagles, both on and off the pitch. So, I mean, how are you juggling things at the moment?
Well, I'm assistant coach at Featherstone, so, you know, from the off, I wanted to stay on with the club. I knew kind of where the club wanted to be and were directing, so I wanted to be a part of that, and it just wasn't in my time frame or availability to do that full-time role. And I don't think we could have got a better person than Marie. She's been a real asset to the club, and that will show as we move forward. But yeah, so I go once a week and do you know, support the staff there, and as an assistant coach. So it's working all right. I'm all right with my time management currently, but yeah, at Sheffield it's going really well, and I think, you know, we're still only very small, you know, as a club and a foundation. So we've got bigger ambitions than we can probably facilitate with staff at the minute. But The wheelchair team's going really well. You know, hopefully next year we'll probably look to have 2 teams. We've got really good numbers there. The women play their first game this weekend. We launched our learning disability on Tuesday. Again, like, we've had some really good feedback and uptake on all these things. So it's all really, really positive, and I probably bore people a little bit with it, but you know, our really big focus as a club is to be as inclusive as possible. And you know, as with the learning disability, the people who've come forward and who want to come and get involved are supporters of Sheffield Eagles, who, you know, lifelong supporters who have family members or friends who have learning disabilities and they want to get involved with rugby. So, you know, we want those families to be watching the Eagles and say, oh, you know, my son or daughter or my friend wants to play. And we've now got a playing opportunity for anybody. So there's obviously community clubs for adults and juniors. We've now got women's. We've got, you know, playing opportunities now for physical disabilities and learning disabilities. So it's, you know, I think it's a real milestone for the club as well. And obviously the aim for us is to grow it now and keep it sustainable and create a real community feel and family feel once the Eagles get back to the OLP, hopefully in May. So yeah, it's going really well. We're also looking next week to launch some girls rugby as well. So there's girls rugby obviously available in the community clubs up till we get to under 11s, and then there isn't a standalone girls team. And you know, a big aim for us is to have a playing offer in the city for girls, so to work with those community clubs, so the girls they've got within those clubs have somewhere they can go and play, and you know, work with these community clubs to keep the girls in the city and have a playing offer and pathway through to the women. So yeah, that's probably the next big thing coming.
That's incredible, Andrew. Really. So, as an interviewer, I don't know where to go next with this, because it's just exciting.
No, that was a really long answer, wasn't it?
No. I mean, it's just exciting. I mean, we could talk about Sheffield and, you know, the new stadium, you know, getting all the fans back together, and like you say, growing the community offer at the club, but also Featherstone taking on St Helens in the semi-final of the Challenge Cup. I mean, it's just, you know, how do you sleep, really, at the moment? You must be giddy all the time.
I like to be busy, honestly. It's probably a good thing I like to be busy. Do you know what? They're completely different, and they're very easy to separate. You know, with Featherstone, it's more of a performance environment. We obviously want to be back in that, you know, the top tier of the Super League moving forward. We want to compete. We want to get some girls in that England setup and night setup. So it's completely different to, you know, the setup at Sheffield with the foundation, because it is pretty much, can we grow rugby league? Can we sell it in the city? Can we get, you know, Sheffield Eagles, you know, well, they are getting back in the home of the city, but, you know, can we make rugby league in Sheffield more accessible and, you know, exciting for people living in Sheffield, that they want to come and watch it and engage more with the communities around the OLP.
No, brilliant stuff. Just a plug then for this weekend's match. St Helens on Sunday. It's epic, this, because St Helens, I mean, the first question is, can you score against St Helens, because no one else has so far. I mean, it's daunting, but stranger things have happened. We've seen the magic of the Challenge Cup over the years. Look at Sheffield, for example. So, I mean, what do you think of the challenge this weekend?
Yeah, I think, do you know what? I probably wouldn't use daunting as a word. I think, do you know, out of the three, if you had to pick somebody, would you pick to play St Helens in a semi? Probably not. But I think, like you say, it's a Challenge Cup, and for us, there's no pressure on us whatsoever. Whether we'd have played Leeds, Saints, or York, we're the underdogs. We're coming from Super League 2. You know, we had a bit of a track record last year of being a bit inconsistent and, you know, struggled with our fitness. But I think for us, whichever team we got, it was just literally to turn up, improve on a 59% completion, improve on the bits we've been working on, and just give them a dig. I think every team is beatable, and, you know, watching the couple of games we've played already, they're certainly beatable. It's early on in the season. You know, it could go either way, and I think if we just put a bit of pressure and play without pressure and kind of expectation, hopefully we'll give them a good run for the money. So you know, you have to be confident. You have to be quietly confident. You don't want to go and play teams and with a beaten attitude already. So, you know, we've looked at, you know, every team has some weaknesses. Some teams are a lot harder to find, but yeah, we'll be confident that we can, you know, go in with a game plan that should really challenge them. And you never know. Absolutely never know.
And it's live on the BBC as well on their digital platforms on Sunday at Warrington. So it should be a cracking occasion. And, you know, we're not even at May yet, are we? So how much are you looking forward to this season more generally as well as Sunday?
Yeah, it's massive. And I think that the women's game is taking big strides every season. You know, to have both semi-finals on the BBC, for us as a club, you know, it's massive for us. Some of our girls haven't played on that stage and haven't been on the TV and be on that stage. So for women's rugby in general, it's massive. And the more strides we take every season, and you know, there's more opportunity for people to watch women's rugby league, especially in the World Cup year as well. You know, it might you know, encourage them to go and watch the women at the World Cup. And yeah, it's great. And like I say, for our girls, it'll be a real experience for them to, you know, to experience playing in front of hopefully a big crowd and on the telly. So yeah, I think it's just really important that, you know, we do put a good performance in. And I think the bigger picture for women's rugby league is that you don't want these games which end up in cricket scores and one-sided and poor for an audience to watch. So I think if we can just go out there, be a good spectacle and have a good game and showcase women's rugby league,